Welcome to Evolve Together with Empower People, where people are power. I'm Tiffany Joy Green, MBA. Here, clarity cuts, humor heals, and purpose drives transformation. Join the movement at www.empowerpeople.org and connect with us on YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, and Facebook, because when people are power, purpose wins. Welcome to Evolve Together with Empower People. I'm Tiffany Joy, and I don't do bedtime stories. I do wake-up calls. Today's America, it looks like a mashup of a courtroom drama, an economics lecture, and a TikTok feed. We've got Jerry Greenfield resigning from Ben & Jerry's over silenced activism, Trump and Xi negotiating the fate of TikTok, free speech in a chokehold after Jimmy Kimmel's suspension, disinformation swirling around Charlie Kirk's assassination, the Fed warning inflation will stick around for 7 years, housing stocks spiking after rate cuts, and thankfully, a few viral trends reminding us we can still laugh and restore. Chaos doesn't scare me. Confusion doesn't paralyze me, because when we lead with purpose, even in the noise, we evolve together. Let's dig in. Imagine building an ice cream empire on two things, flavor and activism, and then being told you can only keep one. Jerry Greenfield just resigned from Ben & Jerry's, saying Unilever silenced the brand's activism. After 47 years, he walked away. Ben & Jerry's always stood out, whether on climate justice, voting rights, or racial equity. But Greenfield says Unilever broke the spirit of their agreement, gagging the social justice side in favor of for-profit smoothing. He called it a matter of conscience. This isn't about ice cream. It's about what happens when values collide with the corporate bottom line. Purpose-led companies risk being silenced when ownership doesn't share the vision. The question is your mission strong enough to survive outside the boardroom? You can sell ice cream without sprinkles, but you can't sell Ben & Jerry's without justice and call it the same brand. At Empower People, we don't compromise conscience. Purpose is the flavor that doesn't melt. Trump and Xi are about to hop on a call. No, not a duet on TikTok, but to negotiate whether TikTok survives in the U.S. Data, privacy, billions at stake. Washington wants assurances data won't funnel back to Beijing. China wants control over its crown jewel. Trump wants a deal that looks like protectionism but plays like politics. And millions of U.S. users just want their For You page back. TikTok isn't just cat videos, it's how young people organize, protest, share identity. When a platform this influential sits in geopolitical crosshairs, we have to ask, who owns our voices? And who benefits when those voices are silenced? Can you delete an app? Yes, but you can't delete the hunger for connection it exposed. Purpose says protect people's data and their voices. Freedom isn't free if it costs us expression. Jimmy Kimmel made a joke about Charlie Kirk's death. ABC suspended him. Trump's people are now threatening other networks. Late-night hosts are rallying. Welcome to free speech as a contact sport. It's one thing for a network to discipline an employee. It's another for a government to hint that other networks could be punished for criticism. The line between corporate choice and political pressure? Blurring fast. Comedy is democracy's pressure valve. If we lose the right to satire, we don't just lose laughs, we lose critique. Leaders can't demand loyalty oaths from late-night comedians without cheapening freedom for everyone. When jokes get censored, it's not comedy that dies first, it's democracy. Purpose says dissent isn't dangerous, silence is. Charlie Kirk was assassinated, and within hours, disinformation was sprinting faster than the facts. Conspiracies, false claims, even foreign bots weaponizing the moment. Russia, China, and Iran are using the killing to sow division online. Meanwhile, U.S. feeds are boiling over with speculation. Some users are losing jobs after posting insensitive reactions. The tragedy has become a test case for how truth competes with noise. Every act of violence has two ripples, the wound itself and the narrative that follows. When misinformation becomes the louder ripple, healing gets hijacked. We don't just process grief, we get manipulated by those who profit from confusion. Assassinations kill people. Disinformation kills trust. At Empower People, truth is the weapon we refuse to drop. Bad news. Inflation isn't packing its bags. The Fed now says high inflation could stick around for 7 years post-pandemic. 7 years. Tariffs, supply chains, rising labor costs, pressures aren't easing. What we thought was temporary pain is looking permanent. Grocery bills, gas, rent, this may be our new normal. When survival gets redefined, hope gets thinner. This isn't about percentages, it's about parents skipping meals, workers deferring healthcare, dreams postponed. If inflation is semi-permanent, our solutions have to be too. Inflation doesn't just erode dollars, it corrodes dignity. At Empower People, we demand policies that protect people, not just markets, because dignity is the economy's true currency. Wall Street is cheering. Housing stocks are soaring after the Fed cut rates. Mortgage rates are dropping. Great news for home builders, but for families, not so simple. Rate cuts ease pressure, but home prices remain out of reach for many. Inventory is tight, wages haven't caught up, and affordability still feels like fiction. The market's smiling while households are still scrambling. When opportunity rises but access doesn't, privilege grows. Stock surges don't equal stability. Housing isn't just about loans, it's about roots, belonging, and security. You can lower rates, but you can't lower the cost of inequality. Purpose measures housing not by shares gained, but by families housed. Let's end lighter, because purpose isn't only about fighting fires, it's about restoring joy. 2 viral trends this week: shelter dogs and wigs, and a TikTok wellness hack called the 3-3 rule. Trend 1, New York City shelter dogs in wigs. New York City shelters dressed pit mixes in wigs, labeled them labradoodles, and adoption rates skyrocketed. Turns out, a wig can change a dog's fate. Value is perception. We see what we're primed to see. Sometimes all it takes to save a life is to shift the frame. Now, trend 2, TikTok's 3-3 rule. Walk 3,000 steps, drink a third of your water, and eat 30 grams of protein before noon. Millions are trying it. Experts say momentum matters more than perfection. You don't have to win the whole day in the morning. You just need to start moving in the right direction. Even wigs and water bottles can remind us change is possible when perception and practice shift. From silenced ice cream founders to TikTok geopolitics to comedy censorship to disinformation to stubborn inflation to housing dreams, and yes, even wigs on shelter dogs, today shows us one thing. The loudest story isn't always the clearest. Purpose is clarity. Purpose is accountability. Purpose is belonging. That's why we don't just watch headlines. We evolve together. Join Empower People. Don't just watch, belong. Activate your superpower at empowerpeople.org/join-now.